how's it going? On this episode, I'm going to tell you guys, show you guys what I do to prime my miniatures. Because as you'll see momentarily, I have completed assembling all 10 of my Space Marine Reavers who came in the box. What I'm doing here is I've got a bit of cardboard. This is a cardboard box, it's a cat food box. It's gray because I've used it before, and I'm just laying out little squares of double-sided tape so that I can take my fully assembled dudes, par assembled I should say, they're looking great, with one arm off. If the arm was going to cover the chest, those are the parts I leave off, otherwise I put it on. I know that's going to make it difficult to get in there, but that's future me's problem. This is how I like to do it. 10 squares of double-sided tape set up, and I'm just gonna make sure they're nice and tight and start loading my dudes on. I'm gonna be careful, make sure they stick, press on the base if you can to make sure they're nice and secure. These guys all got little wings coming off the back of them. I'm not used to dealing with that. Creates some loose fitting pieces, makes me a little concerned about knocking into them or knocking them over. I've got 10 spots perfectly assembled with enough space in between that I'll be able to get them. Oh yeah, just knock it right over. And there we go. 10 dudes. Giving it a shake, make sure they're not coming off. Oh, these guys are good. I mean, they can come off if you jank them a little too hard, obviously, but that'll work as they are. So, this is what I will use to spray. I do them all at once, that way I can just pull them when I'm ready to paint, grab one, work on it, grab another, work on it. Let's talk about the primer. I'm using Mr. Primer, surface primer for plastic and metal. You can use any primer you want, just make sure it says it's for plastic. Plastique. Yeah, this is about half full. I'm using gray. Gray is a good base color to use for anything really. If I were painting these a lighter color, white or something, I might want to go with a white primer, but in this case, these guys are all going to be basic bitch ultramarine blue. So gray's going to work. And the key is, a lot of people talk about primer. The key is to get it on thin, to start side and then come across evenly and quickly from all the angles until you get nice thin coverage. Thin really can't be stressed enough. A lot of people say warm up your primer in some warm water, wait for a day that isn't too humid or not humid enough. A lot of people say that stuff, but the reality is you get the coats on thin enough, it's not going to matter. You're going to have a lot less stippling, a lot less bubbling. Bubbling is something I still have especially problems with, especially on corner pieces. So I'm still working on getting that down, but thin coats, 2 or 3 thin coats for coverage. Now, some of these dudes are missing arms. You might be wondering, how do I prime the arms? Well, you use one of these. This is just some foam. Here, let me get these boys out of the way. This is a piece of foam that some electronic came in and installed. These are just little mini bamboo sticks. You get a pack of a bajillion of them for like $2, $3. And I'm even reusing these. Take some of that tape, and a piece of paper to number them. The numbers are on the bottom. The matching numbers are on the bottom of the other guys. I won't be showing you those. But you stick some sticks in the foam, put some, this is poster putty, which is one of the most useful items for making minis you could possibly have. Poster putty's gonna be real good. I'm just now recognizing that this, oh, that must be a left arm, yeah. Attach the poster putty, and I like to attach them for the priming purposes to the space where the arms, these are all their arms that are gonna come across the chest in some way, to the space that covers, you know, is where you're gonna attach the arm. I'm not actually gonna protect it that much from paint, so I will be using super glue, as you need an exact plastic touching plastic seal. I could take some poster putty and cover up the spots where I would be gluing these and have them covered the whole time I'm painting, and that would allow a plastic touching plastic seal and allow me to use plastic glue, but it's just one arm. Super glue will do the trick just as well as anything, plus then when I varnish it, it'll be real stuck. So just a bit of foam, some sticks, some poster putty, holding my arms up, stuck to them in places where I don't need paint. And that's how I do the arms. I just hold this, and when you're priming, same primer, same deal. When you're priming, you want to hold it out at an arm's length. Arm's length. Even spray, left to right, or right to left. Turn them, you need to get under them. Need to get above them. These are all things you can do with it in your hand. And they stay on there pretty good because I almost just threw them across the room. Anyways. Guess it's time to prime. 20-30 minutes between each coat. Real simple stuff. 2-3 coats, you want to check it. Make sure it's nice and evenly coated. Make sure it's not on there too thick. And we'll make sure it's completely dry before you do another. That's priming. I'll show you guys about how I do it in a bit.